Officer, thank God you're here. She's right there. I stopped her just in time.
Ma'am, put the clippers down. Now.
Officer, this is a complete misunderstanding. I'm Mrs. Patterson's nurse. She asked me to. She's lying. I saw her about to shave this woman's head against her will. No, I asked her to do this. She's my nurse.
Sweetheart, you don't have to protect her. You're safe now.
I'm not protecting her. She's the only person who didn't abandon me when I got cancer. Yes, I was walking by and heard crying. I saw this woman with clippers attacking her. Clear assault. She is a cancer patient. She asked me to help her shave her head before it falls out from chemotherapy. This is consensual care. Then why was she crying? Because my husband divorced me when the cancer came back. Because I'm doing this alone. Because Simone is the only person who stayed.
Let me take you back to how we got here. The alarm went off at 5:47. Simone Hawthorne was already awake. At 44 years old, after 22 years in nursing, she knew the weight of certain days. Today was one of them. She sat up, unwrapped the silk scarf from her box braids, and gathered them into a professional bun. In the bathroom mirror, her reflection showed a woman who'd earned every credential after her name. Bachelor's degree, master's degree, oncology certification, chief nursing officer for 4 years. But today she wasn't going to her administrative office. Today she was going back to direct patient care. She made her coffee stronger than usual. Eleanor Patterson's face kept appearing in her mind, the way she'd touched her patchy hair yesterday during chemotherapy, trembling fingers running over what remained. The conversation they'd had. The decision they'd made together. The drive to Mercy General took 32 minutes in silence. Simone thought about Eleanor. About the plan. About the moment coming at 2:30 that afternoon. She parked in her administrative spot and gathered her things. Her work bag. And a separate canvas bag she'd packed the night before. Soft scarves in navy, dusty rose, and bright yellow. Gentle moisturizer for sensitive scalps. A handheld mirror wrapped in tissue paper. Items she'd bought with her own money. Before entering, Simone stopped at the small hospital chapel. Her ritual on hard days. 3 minutes of quiet breathing. Then she walked toward her day. The executive elevator required a keycard. Simone scanned hers for the 7th floor, the oncology unit, not the administrative wing where her office sat. The doors opened to familiar sounds. Call lights chiming. Hushed conversations. 4 pumps humming. Patients shuffling in slippers. Beverly, the charge nurse, looked up. Morning. You sure about today? I'm sure. It's going to be emotional. I know. Beverly handed Simone a tablet with patient assignments. This was why Simone insisted on direct patient care twice monthly. The CNO position came with authority to change policies, but also distance. She never wanted to forget what it felt like to hold a patient's hand. To sit with bad news. To be present for moments that mattered. Her badge hung from her neck. S. Hawthorne, RN, BSN, MSN, OCN. The credentials were clear. But one line at the bottom in tiny print, Chief Nursing Officer. Most people never noticed. When she was on the floor, Simone didn't want to be the CNO. She wanted to be a nurse. She wore purple scrubs, oncology unit color. Identical to every other floor nurse. Her stethoscope had Simone embroidered in gold thread. A gift from a patient's family years ago. By 9:30, Simone had checked her assigned patients. A newly diagnosed lymphoma case. An end-stage pancreatic patient on comfort care. A woman in her 2nd chemo round. She'd also answered policy questions from staff, approved schedule changes, clarified protocols. The dual role exhausted her some days. But it kept her grounded. At 10 o'clock, Eleanor Patterson arrived for chemotherapy. Simone met her in the infusion suite. Eleanor was 64, thin in a way that spoke of illness. Her hair was patchy, chunks missing. She wore a soft cardigan and comfortable pants. She looked tired. Hi, Eleanor. Hi, Simone. Is today still the day? Only if you're ready. We can wait. Eleanor sat in the treatment recliner. Simone accessed her port for the 4. The needle went in smoothly. After 3 years of treatment, Eleanor was used to this part. I woke up this morning and there was hair all over my pillow, Eleanor said quietly. More than yesterday. It's happening faster now. Simone taped the 4 securely. The chemotherapy is working. But this is the cost. When David and I got married, I had hair to my waist. He braided it every night. Eleanor's voice caught. He signed the divorce papers 2 weeks ago. Final. I'm so sorry. I'm not. Anyone who leaves when things get hard doesn't deserve the good parts. Eleanor looked at Simone. You've been here for everything. The diagnosis, surgery, radiation, remission, when the cancer came back. When David left and you answered my call at 2 in the morning. Simone started the 4 fluids. So, 2:30. After treatment. Are you ready? Eleanor touched her patchy hair. I can't keep waking up with it on my pillow. I want control over something. If I'm losing it anyway, I want to choose when and how. Then we'll do it at 2:30. Quiet hallway near the consultation rooms. Window overlooking the garden. Natural light. Privacy. You'll stay the whole time? Eleanor, I'm not going anywhere. Simone documented carefully. Patient requests hair removal assistance due to chemo-related alopecia. Emotional support needed. Private setting per patient preference. 2:30 p.m. Timestamp, 8:47 a.m. Everything official. Everything by the book. The treatment took 4 hours. By 2:15 it was complete. Eleanor took her anti-nausea medication, changed into her own clothes. Simone helped her stand. They walked to the quiet section of the wing. Past the nurses' station. Past treatment rooms. Past the waiting area. To the hallway near consultation rooms where Simone had scouted earlier. A large window overlooked the garden. Sunlight streamed through, warm and golden. Simone had positioned a cushioned chair there an hour ago. Eleanor sat slowly. Simone draped a towel around her shoulders and pulled out electric clippers. Professional-grade quiet motor. She tested them, a soft buzz. When David and I got married, I had hair to my waist, Eleanor said, staring out the window. I'm sorry he's not here. I'm not. Anyone who leaves during hard times doesn't deserve the good ones. Eleanor looked at her reflection in the glass. Last look at before Eleanor. Simone placed her hand on Eleanor's shoulder. You ready? Eleanor closed her eyes. Nodded. Simone positioned the clippers, about to make the first pass. Hey, what are you doing to her? The voice was sharp, loud, accusatory. Simone froze, clippers buzzing. A white woman in her early 50s strode toward them from the elevator, 60 feet away. Face twisted in alarm and anger. Eleanor's eyes flew open. What? Who are you? The woman practically ran. Ma'am, are you okay? Did she hurt you? What are you talking about? Simone is my nurse. You're crying. What did she do? I'm crying because I have cancer. Because my husband left me. Because I'm about to lose my hair. But Karen Hoffman wasn't listening. Her eyes fixed on the clippers, the towel, Eleanor's tears. She'd already made her judgment. You're confused. You need help. I'm not confused. Get away from us. Simone set the clippers down. Took a breath. Composed herself. 22 years of nursing taught her de-escalation. Ma'am, I understand you're concerned. Mrs. Patterson is my patient. We planned this care together. Karen's eyes narrowed. It looks like you were about to shave an elderly woman's head without consent. I have her consent. She requested this. I'm her oncology nurse. Show me your ID. Simone held up her badge. Karen squinted. Simone Hawthorne, RN, BSN, MSN, OCN. Karen read aloud. So you're a nurse. That doesn't mean you're her nurse. Mrs. Patterson, can you tell this woman I'm your nurse? Eleanor's hands shook. I've been seeing Simone for 3 years. Through everything. Diagnosis, surgery, radiation, remission, recurrence, divorce. She's family. Karen's expression barely softened. You're emotional. Traumatized. You might not understand what's happening. I have cancer, not Alzheimer's. Eleanor's voice was sharp. I know exactly what I asked for. Even if that's true, cutting hair in a hallway isn't appropriate. Where's the doctor's authorization? This is nursing care, Simone said, calm cracking. Patient-directed hygiene. No physician order needed. Anyone could say that. Simone grabbed the tablet. Unlocked it. Navigated to Eleanor's chart. Found her morning note. Here. Documented at 8:47 a.m. Patient requests hair removal, Emotional support, private setting. Scheduled 2:30 p.m. 6 hours ago. Karen barely glanced. Anyone could type that. How do I know you didn't add it 10 minutes ago? Our system timestamps every entry. I can't backdate documentation. So you say. I've seen stories about hospital abuse, Karen continued, voice rising. Staff taking advantage of vulnerable patients. I'm not going to stand by. This woman has cancer, Simone said, voice shaking now. She's alone. She asked for one thing, someone she trusts during the hardest moment. And you're treating me like a criminal. I'm protecting her. From what? From compassion? Karen pulled out her phone. I'm calling the police. Eleanor reached out, trembling. Please don't. But Karen was already dialing. Yes, I need police at Mercy General. Oncology wing. Staff member assaulting elderly cancer patient with electric clippers. Patient is crying. Yes, I'll stay on the line. Down the hallway, Beverly looked up. Other nurses glanced over. An orderly slowed, then kept walking. A family exited a room and hurried away. No one approached. No one intervened. Simone thought about walking away. But she looked at Eleanor, abandoned by her husband, fighting cancer alone, asking for this one act of dignity, and knew she couldn't leave. Eleanor, I'm not going anywhere. Eleanor grabbed her hand. What if they don't believe us? Then we tell them again. And again. Until they do. Beverly approached reluctantly. What's going on? This woman called the police. Ma'am, are you family? No, but I witnessed something wrong. Maybe move to a treatment room, Beverly started. No, Simone said firmly. We're not hiding. Eleanor wanted privacy and natural light. We're staying. Beverly retreated. The other nurses returned to work. Life continued as if nothing was happening. And that hurt most. Not Karen's accusations. But the silence of people who knew better. Simone's mind flashed back. 6 years ago, age 38, before her CNO promotion. A young black patient with leukemia. His uncle refused Simone's care. She looks too young. The charge nurse had said, not worth the fight. Switch assignments. But Simone was more qualified. The patient died 8 days later. She still wondered if her care might have made a difference. That day she decided she was done letting bias dictate her care. Applied for leadership. Pursued her master's. Became CNO. Built credentials like armor. And here she was. Chief nursing officer. And it still wasn't enough. The elevator dinged. 2 officers stepped out. White man, late 30s. Asian American man, younger. They approached with purpose. Karen waved them over. Officers. Thank God. Officer Bradley spoke first. Who called this in? I did, Karen said. I heard crying, saw this woman with clippers near the patient's head. She was about to shave her. The patient looked terrified. Bradley turned to Simone. Ma'am, what's your name? Simone Hawthorne. Registered nurse. Mrs. Patterson is my patient. And you were doing what? Helping her shave her head. She's in chemotherapy. Her hair is falling out. She requested assistance in a private setting. Karen interrupted. That's what she's claiming now. Eleanor turned. I was crying because my husband left me. Because I'm losing my hair. Not because of Simone. Bradley held up his hand. Everyone calmed down. Do you have ID? Simone held up her badge. Bradley barely looked. I need a driver's license, ma'am. My badge has my photo, name, credentials. Hospital policy isn't police protocol. Simone pulled out her license. Bradley examined it. This matches. Simone Hawthorne. That doesn't prove she's authorized, Karen said. Officer No moved to an angle. Tactical positioning. Treating this as a potential incident. Why were you shaving her head in a hallway? Bradley asked. She requested privacy, Simone explained calmly. Hair loss is deeply personal. We documented this hours ago. Is this standard? Yes. Hygiene care is nursing responsibility. Karen's voice rose. In public? With power tools? Bradley didn't stop her. Eleanor tried again. I have stage 3 breast cancer. 4th chemo round. I asked Simone, my nurse of 3 years, to help. We planned this. Then this woman started screaming. Bradley's voice softened toward Eleanor. Ma'am, did you ask this nurse to shave your head? Yes. I've been saying that for 20 minutes. And you've been her patient how long? 3 years. Through surgery, radiation, remission, recurrence. She held my hand when they told me the cancer came back. When my husband divorced me. She's family. Karen spoke up. The patient is emotional. Traumatized. She might not understand. I have cancer, not dementia. Eleanor said. Stop talking about me like I'm incompetent. Bradley looked at his partner. Then back at Simone. Do you have documentation? Simone pulled up her tablet. Found the note. Turned the screen. Here. 8:47 a.m. Patient requests hair removal, emotional support, private setting. 2:30 p.m. 6 hours ago. Bradley glanced. Nodded slightly. Karen leaned in. That could have been typed any time. Our system timestamps every entry, Simone said, patience wearing. Metadata is permanent. I can't backdate notes. So you claim. Down the hallway staff watched. Beverly on the phone. Other nurses half hidden. An orderly pretending to check his phone. A family quickly leaving. No one came to say, yes, this is normal. Yes, she's telling the truth. There was one nurse, Jenna, 28, 3 years out of school, standing at the station watching. Guilt on her face. She'd seen Karen approach. Watched the confrontation start. And frozen. Bradley turned to Eleanor. Did you feel threatened by this nurse? No. The only person I felt threatened by was her. Eleanor pointed at Karen. SHE started yelling. SHE called you. She turned a private moment into a spectacle. I was trying to help. Karen's voice cracked. See something, say something. I've read about hospital abuse. But nothing was happening, Simone said quietly. Just a nurse helping her patient through the hardest moment. That's your story. It's the truth. Karen's face flushed. I know what I saw. An elderly white woman crying with a black woman holding a weapon. The word hung. Weapon. Clippers described as a weapon. Simone felt something shift. This was never about verification. This was about what Karen saw when she looked at Simone. They're not a weapon, Simone said, voice deadly calm. They're clippers. We use them dozens of times weekly. They're a tool. Not a weapon. In the wrong hands. And you decided I had the wrong hands before asking a single question. I was being cautious. No. You were being biased. I never mentioned race. You didn't have to. You saw a black nurse with a white patient and assumed violence. That's racial profiling. How dare you? Bradley stepped between them. Everyone take a breath. Officer No spoke. Is there a supervisor? The charge nurse is Beverly, Simone said. But if you need administration, call the director of nursing or chief of staff. Beverly approached slowly, reluctantly. I'm Beverly Reeves, charge nurse. Can you verify this nurse is assigned to this patient? Beverly pulled up her tablet. Yes. Simone requested Mrs. Patterson specifically for today. Is it normal to shave patients' heads in hallways? Beverly hesitated. It's unusual. But when patients request privacy, we accommodate. Simone documented properly. Everything's protocol. See? Karen said triumphantly. Not normal. I said unusual, Beverly corrected. Not inappropriate. There's a difference. But damage was done. Beverly retreated quickly. Simone felt the abandonment. Eleanor struggled to stand. The towel slipped. She pushed up, shaky but determined. Can everyone stop talking about me like I'm not here? Her voice echoed. I am 64. I have stage 3 breast cancer. Surgery, radiation, chemo. Lost my breast. Lost my marriage. Losing my hair. And the one person who's been there is being treated like a criminal. Her voice cracked. 3 weeks ago, hair all over my pillow. Clumps. I called Simone at 2 a.m. crying. She answered. Said, when you're ready, we'll do this together. Eleanor pointed at Karen. Today was ready. We planned this. It's documented. And this woman ruined it. Eleanor's legs gave out. Simone caught her, guided her back to the chair. I just wanted one moment, Eleanor whispered. One moment of control. Now I have police reports and my entire floor knows. This was supposed to be mine. Silence. Beverly called out, Rita's on her way up. Rita Mendez, Director of Nursing. Simone's direct report. About to find her C&O being questioned by police. The elevator dinged. Rita stepped out. Confusion, shock, concern crossed her face. What's going on? Beverly called about an incident. Rita stopped. Simone? Are you administration? Bradley asked. Rita Mendez, director of nursing. We responded to a possible assault call. Rita's expression shifted. That's absurd. Simone is, she caught herself. Looked at Simone. Simone gave the smallest head shake. Not yet. Rita adjusted. This nurse has worked here over 2 decades. Most qualified, experienced oncology nurse we have. She was providing care, that's what it was. Care. The caller had concerns. The patient was distressed because the caller harassed them, Rita said sharply. Mrs. Patterson, do you feel unsafe with Simone? No. I feel unsafe with her. Karen's face reddened. I don't have to stand here. You accused first, Rita said coldly. You disrupted care. Traumatized the patient. Yes, you do. No's radio crackled. He stepped away, returned. Hospital security is coming. They have cameras covering this hallway. Full audio and video. Relief sparked in Simone. Cameras. Evidence. Karen paled. The footage will show I was protecting her. The footage will show you interfered without cause, Rita said. Torres from security arrived. 50s, worked at Mercy almost as long as Simone. Simone? What? He caught himself. Officers. I'm Torres, hospital security. You need footage? Correct. Torres pulled up his tablet. I can access it here. He tapped through screens. This camera covers the whole hallway. Starting 30 minutes ago? Yes. Torres played it. Everyone gathered around. Simone in the video, arriving with Eleanor, positioning the chair, arranging supplies. Eleanor sitting, Simone draping the towel. Testing clippers, Eleanor nodding. Peace before disruption. Then Karen. Exiting elevator. Looking at phone. Hearing something. Looking up. Staring. Then striding forward, body language aggressive. Karen's approach. Simone turning, startled. Simone holding up badge, Karen barely glancing. Simone offering tablet, Karen dismissing with hand wave. Eleanor's distress growing. There, Rita said pointing. Simone showing her badge. Karen doesn't even look. She glanced, Karen started. 2 seconds. Then kept accusing. The footage continued. Karen on phone. Eleanor standing, shouting. Beverly's reluctant approach. Police arriving. Bradley watched. When it ended, he looked at Simone differently. Something closer to embarrassment. This shows the patient consented. Which means the 911 call was false, Rita said. False report. Criminal charge in California. Karen's voice rose. I reported what I saw. Crying because of cancer, Rita said. Not assault. Crying because her husband left. Not assault. Crying because she's losing her hair. Not assault. I didn't know. You could have asked. Before calling police. Before accusing. Before traumatizing a cancer patient. Eleanor stood again. With dignity now. Anger giving her strength. You want to know why I was crying? My husband of 35 years divorced me 6 weeks ago. Served papers during chemo recovery. Said he couldn't watch me suffer. So he left. She took a breath. My kids are in California. I'm in Oregon. 2 visits in 8 months. I'm alone. Except for Simone. Eleanor looked at Simone. She came to my surgery off shift. Drove me to radiation. Stayed on the phone at 2 a.m. when David moved out. Held my hand when cancer came back and cried with me. To Karen. This morning, hair all over my pillow. I thought, I can't keep waking like this. I need to do this my way. With someone I trust. Who won't leave. Her voice broke. We planned this. Chose this time. This place. Documented everything. Peaceful. Private. Dignity in hell. She looked at Karen with pity. And you turned it into this. You weaponized police instead of asking. You saw a black woman with a white woman and assumed violence. Don't deny it. That's exactly what happened. Karen's mouth opened. Closed. No words. Bradley cleared his throat. Ma'am, based on footage and testimony, your call was unfounded. I made a mistake. You made an assumption, Simone said quietly. That assumption traumatized my patient. Questioned my competency. Treated compassionate care like assault. Because you decided I was a threat before knowing facts. I never said race. Your actions said it for you, Rita said. Bradley looked uncomfortable. Ma'am, I apologize. This appears to be a misunderstanding. A misunderstanding? Simone's voice hardened. She filed a false police report. Accused me of assault. That's not a misunderstanding. That's a crime. Bradley exchanged a glance with no. Ma'am, if you want to pursue charges. I do. Karen's face went white. You can't be serious. Completely serious. You weaponized police for doing my job. Traumatized my patient. Created a hostile environment. Based on racial bias. There need to be consequences. But I thought. You thought wrong. Thinking wrong doesn't absolve harm. Chief of Staff Dr. Rashid arrived moments later. Pakistani-American, 43. He assessed quickly. Explanation, he said to Rita. 30 seconds. Rita delivered. Visitor called police on Simone during documented, consensual care. False assault report. Patient confirms. Footage corroborates. Simone wants charges pressed. Dr. Rashid's jaw tightened. To the officers, thank you for responding. This is now hospital matter requiring internal investigation and potential criminal charges. We need to complete documentation, Bradley said. Efficiently. My staff needs to return to care. To Simone, are you all right? No. But I will be. Take the rest of the day. No. Simone looked at Eleanor. Mrs. Patterson and I have something to finish. Dr. Rashid understood immediately. All right. But statements first. Risk management is coming. Gerald from risk management arrived. 62, 35 years in administration. Simone, I'm sorry. Let's get statements. They moved to a conference room. Gerald interviewed everyone. Simone gave her statement methodically. Timeline. Documentation. Karen's interference. Escalation. Verification. Voice steady. Facts precise. This is one of the clearest racial profiling cases I've encountered, Gerald said. Everything documented. Everything appropriate. And still, police called on you. Not the first time, Simone said quietly. Just the first time I'm pushing back formally. Good. We'll support you fully. Police instead of asking questions. Now you're facing consequences. This isn't about what I wanted. It's about accountability. Elevator doors opened. Bradley and No escorted Karen inside. Protests continued until doors closed. Hallway silent. Everyone dispersed. Police gone, Dr. Rashid making calls, Rita handling admin, Torres documenting. Eventually all left. Simone stood with Eleanor. Chair. Window. Clippers. Okay, Eleanor said, settling in chair. Let's do this before anything else goes wrong. Simone draped towel again. Picked up clippers. Tested them, soft buzz. Close your eyes. Eleanor did. Tears leaked but body relaxed. Trusting. Simone made first pass. Hair fell away. Patchy, fragile hair clinging desperately. Drifted onto towel, floor catching light. You're doing so good. So brave. Systematically. Crown. Sides. Back. Nape. Each pass revealed more bare scalp. Smooth. Pale. Vulnerable. Eleanor's shoulders shook. Quiet crying from held-back grief. Almost done. Final pass. Clippers silent. Simone set them down, brushed away stray hairs. It's done. Eleanor opened eyes. Simone handed her the mirror. Eleanor held it up, angled. Long silence. I look like a stranger, Eleanor whispered. You look like someone surviving. Do I? Yes, you do. Simone pulled out scarves. Navy first. Showed Eleanor how to tie it. Eleanor looked again. Scarf transformed starkness. Added color. Softness. This is me now. This was always you. Just different. Simone applied gentle moisturizer. Coconut scented. Massaged in small circles. Thank you for staying, Eleanor said. I told you. I'm not going anywhere. 2 weeks passed. Hospital held mandatory staff meeting. Dr. Rashid presented new policies. Visitor interference, immediate removal. Security training, badge verification first. Mandatory bystander intervention. Karen Hoffman charged with misdemeanor false police report. Permanently banned. Will cooperate fully with prosecution. Our Chief Nursing Officer, Simone Hawthorne, demonstrated remarkable professionalism. She'll lead anti-discrimination task force. Jenna approached afterward. I'm starting peer support group. Monthly meetings. Role-play scenarios. Practicing intervention. Will you come? Yes. 20 nurses signed up. Practice scripts. Small changes. But changes. Karen's case moved forward. DA decided to prosecute. Arraignment 6 weeks out. 6 months jail possible, though most first-timers got probation. Simone focused on work. Task force. Creating change. 3 weeks after, Eleanor came for 5th chemo. Wearing bright yellow scarf. Fuzzy patches underneath, new hair growing. Hairs growing back. Treatment working. Responding well. Might finish cycle early. That's wonderful. Eleanor pulled out envelope. I wrote the hospital board. About you. What happened? What you've meant to me. Eleanor, you didn't? Yes, I did. Someone needed to say you're not just credentials. You're a human being who showed up. That evening, Simone opened the letter in her CNO office. 3 years ago, Simone saved my life, not with medicine but with presence. When diagnosed, I fell apart. Husband looked away. Children frightened. Simone sat 2 hours after shift. Didn't clock time. Just stayed. She came to surgery off shift. Drove me to radiation. Held my hand when cancer came back. Answered phone at 2 a.m. when husband filed divorce. The day police were called on her for showing compassion, I learned, credentials don't protect good people from bad assumptions. But good people show up anyway. She deserves better. We all do. I hope you're building hospital where kindness isn't mistaken for violence, where trust isn't conditional on skin color, where caregivers are protected. She's my nurse, my friend, my family. With gratitude, Eleanor Patterson. Simone read 3 times. Tears streaming. Folded carefully. Placed on office wall between diplomas and CNO appointment letter. 1 month after, Simone took another patient care day. But something shifted. More aware. Hypervigilant. She helped a young black woman. Newly diagnosed lymphoma. 32. Terrified. Does it get easier? Simone sat beside her. No. But you get stronger. And you're not alone. Feels like I am. I know. But you're not. There are people who will show up. Who will stay. Who will sit through hard parts. I promise. And do they? Survive. Some do. Some don't. But all of them, every single one, braver than they know. Patient cried. Simone stayed. Held hand. Didn't rush. Just sat with fear until more bearable. This was the work. Not policies. Not task forces. Not meetings. This. Being present. Showing up. Staying. When Simone left that evening, she sat in her car. Late afternoon sun. Long shadows. Another day survived. She thought about Eleanor. That young patient. All patients over 2 decades. Ones who recovered and ones who hadn't. Families who thanked and ones who questioned. Career built. Trauma cost. That day in hallway. Karen's accusations. Police questioning. Eleanor's hair falling. Handcuffs clicking. Justice that felt incomplete. She'd been asked if she regretted taking Eleanor's assignment. If she wished she'd avoided confrontation. Answer was no. Because Eleanor needed someone who wouldn't abandon her. Who'd sit through hardest moment. Who'd show up when showing up was dangerous. And Simone refused to let fear keep her from being that person. Sometimes justice was arrest. Sometimes policy change. Sometimes patient's letter. Sometimes colleagues' promise. Sometimes just refusing to back down. She shouldn't need CNO title for respect. Shouldn't need masters for belief. Shouldn't need 22 years for benefit of doubt. But at least now people were asking why. Why credentials weren't enough. Why professionalism wasn't enough. Why being good at job wasn't protection. That question, uncomfortable and necessary, was beginning of change. Not perfect. Not complete. But change. Fight wasn't over. Never would be. But neither was Simone. She started car. Putting gear. Drove home. Tomorrow she'd go back. Administrative wing. Task force meetings. creating protecting systems. And twice monthly she'd return to oncology floor, take assignments, sit beside beds, hold hands, provide care. Because that's who she was. Not just CNO, not just policy maker, not just person with degrees and credentials. She was a nurse. And nurses show up. Even when hard. Even when costly. Even when system fails. They show up anyway. That, more than any policy, arrest, consequence, was the real story. Story of showing up. Staying. Refusing to let fear or bias or trauma keep you from being present. That's what mattered. Always mattered. And that's what Simone would keep doing. Tomorrow. Next week. Next month. For as long as people needed someone to show up. She'd be there. Healthcare workers face discrimination every day but keep showing up. If you want more stories where accountability happens and dignity is respected, hit subscribe. Share this video. Amplify these voices. These stories deserve to be told. What changes would make the biggest difference in protecting healthcare workers from discrimination? Tell us in comments. Your ideas matter. Let's keep this conversation going.